I'm Angela.
And this is NFGeeks. All right. So, Angela, there's something we want to talk about on NFGeeks for a long time.
Oh, really?
Going way back to Dave and I. Because Dave and I would kind of talk about this. And it's kind of like, okay, I want to talk about how NFs are represented metaphorically in myth or literature or even like cartoons, movies, TV, any kind of sort of artistic representation of NF as it shows up. And the reason why is that, boy, we look horrible.
Yes, we do.
I think we look horrible. We look wimpy. We look crybaby-ish. And the thing that kills me is that I can't deny that they're NFs. You know what I mean? They really are NFs. Okay?
It's true, but we're almost looking like,
yeah,
damn,
it's
that's really us.
Right. It's tough. And, the way I thought about it is that, let's say there was, and you have to watch South Park to know this is the whole episode of Imagination Land. Like, what if Imagination Land was divided up into the 4 temperaments? So there's SJ, there's SP, things that represent SP that are from myth and imagination, and then there's SJ things, and there's NT things, and there's NF things, and they had a battle. I think there'd be a lot of casualties on the NF side.
I agree. The NFs would get their asses kicked.
Right, because, who do we have that represents SPs? Well, we got, practically every Marvel superhero. Okay, you got, Wolverine, you got Spider-Man, you got every really skilled samurai and assassin. Is an SP, you got all that. SJs have every army in every movie.
All the military guys, all the strategic
guys.
Right,
they even have 3, well, not so much strategic, but the fighters. They have the 300. From 300,
Yeah, those guys. Those guys are ridiculous.
Right, and that's just all they have. They have, every army. They have all the stormtroopers from Star Wars. They have, they have all the Riders of Rohan. They have They have this huge amount. And I think the NTs are the most formidable because they have all the horrifying technology. Okay, so the NTs have all the Death Star and the Star Destroyers and the Daleks.
Where they don't even have to be there to just kill us
right,
all.
Exactly.
They don't even have to be there.
They have to be there. They have the droid armies. They have
They could just watch and in satisfaction as the rest of us die.
Right, exactly. And so so they have all that. And so who is on the NF side? Oh, we have Christopher Robin. we have Piglet. We have Eeyore. Eeyore's an INFP.
Casper the Friendly Ghost is my favorite.
Casper. I hate Casper. He's also an INFP. I hate Casper. That is the worst representation of NF that exists.
We have all the giggly, happy people that just...
And also awful things. We have Care Bears. What are they going to do?
Rainbow Bright.
Rainbow Bright. We have Butters. Butters is an INFP. We have Kyle as well.
But Kyle's not really a fighter.
No, but at least Kyle has a moral compass. I think Kyle's an INFJ. If I had to say what was Kyle's...
I agree with you.
Yeah, he's an INFJ. Yes. At least he has a moral... But still, it's Kyle. Nothing. It's really bad.
We have Yoda, but that's about as
we have
as
thank God we have the Jedi, but the only thing... Right, and we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, but they can't take on... all the Decepticons, can they? I don't know. But it seems like the best they could do is just have a defense where the rest of us could just run away.
Yep, we just leave the Jedi to suffer.
Right, before we're all annihilated. So, so what do you think? What are some other NF representations that are either good or bad?
I definitely think that, it's a good thing because a lot of the times we are seen as the hero,
certainly in a quest where the hero is to transform.
Yes.
Transformative quests are NF quests.
In a round character perspective, where we'd be the character that changes throughout. We take in the moral of the story. We take in, the lesson or whatever it is.
That's right, and transform. Luke Skywalker. At least we have Luke Skywalker.
Exactly. Or we're the ones who are getting everybody to let's just take a second to feel. But we're also that guy who, while we're trying to do this, somebody else is going to come from behind and just stab us and that's it, and then we're out, and then everything gets taken out. But on the bad side, we definitely look like absolute wusses. We are the wussiest of everything. We are the biggest babies ever, and
instantly crushed.
Oh yes, and all it takes is just take this away, and we'll just be totally just you could just.
Or even if we're a hero, we're still the crybaby. Last night I saw Prometheus.
Oh yes, okay.
With my son, we saw Prometheus, and they also have, and I'm not going to give away what's going on, but there's a hero. The hero of Prometheus is also a woman, not like the way Sigourney Weaver was, Ripley in the other Alien movies. Except this hero is definitely again an INFP, and that's a good thing, I think. Even though Casper's an INFP. But I'm pretty sure she's an INFP or acts like an INFP.
Okay.
So she's the hero. She's trying to save the day. But it's like basically crying the whole time. Like crying and screaming in the space helmet, crying and you know what I mean? She's just bawling the whole time.
Yeah.
As opposed to Ripley, who's like an SJ, wants to blow everything up with fire.
She's supposed to kill everything, like, yeah.
Right. It's ready to destroy.
Let me just destroy this really quick.
But she's still the hero, and I'm happy about that. But she's crying the whole time, so I thought, oh, this is an NF hero. But the INFP often is the quest hero again, though. Even mythologically, that comes up over and over and over again. So there's something good about that somehow the transformative hero is an INFP. Also, before I start getting comments, or we start getting comments from the other types, each type has their own hero. Okay, their own type of hero.
Yeah.
Okay, the NF hero is the solo transformative quest hero. Okay, they're on a quest, they're out to get something, they got to find something, they got to and they have some sort of personal transformation through the quest.
Like in Zelda.
Like in Zelda, right?
In Zelda.
Link is an NF. He's an INFP too.
Yes.
Okay, they're all INFPs. That's the funny thing. But still, I would say Link is one. And probably say, well, isn't he an SJ? Isn't he an... No, because he uses magic. And right off the back. And he cares about everybody. He's all these side quests, helping somebody catch a chicken. you know?
Any other type would be like, no,
I
have this to do.
Right, the SJs were like, no, there's a duty. They're in the way. I'm going to kill them.
But the NFs were like, oh, I really should really help them, even though I have this to do.
I'm going to deliver you that bottle of milk all the way across Hyrule, even though I should be.
The princess, she'll still be there.
Right.
I'll get there.
I care about her, too. That's the NF. The NT, I think, hero is the person who wins through genius and technology, the person who builds the thing that saves the day, that kind of thing.
The inventor kind of
The inventor.
person.
Sometimes it's in the inventor. Sometimes it's just, the person who knows how to put things back together, the right way. That's the NT, I think, the NT hero.
The person, the hero may be the one who's in the room with the bomb. Do I cut the blue wire or the red wire?
Right.
Or trying to figure it out that way, or trying to figure out how to
or
set
builds
off
the bomb
codes,
that needs to be built. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's more of a technological hero. The SJ heroes are the war heroes. Okay, like we're gonna fight
the leader in 300, or
or just we're gonna fight to the death because we have to protect, or we have honor and our honor's at stake and all that.
Yep.
The SP heroes, and this is particularly true of the ISTP, because ISTPs are really like this, because I know an ISTP, and ISTPs are the anti-heroes. And the funny thing about the ISTP anti-hero is that they don't care about saving the world or anything. It's not that they want the world to be destroyed, but they don't have an opinion of it either way. And they're kind of annoyed by it all. But the ISTP anti-hero will have one person in the world that they love and they care about. And to protect that person, if they have to fix the whole system of the world or blow it up, they'll do it. But it's not for any kind of righteous ideal of I need to create a utopian.
It's strictly for I need to save this person.
I need to save this one person because I love them, so I'm just going to do this. But if it wasn't for this one person, I wouldn't do anything at all.
Yes, exactly.
Han Solo's like that. He's an ISTP
That's true.
anti-hero, and he's an ISTP, Han Solo. So he's like that. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be fighting the Empire directly. He doesn't like the Empire, but he could go either way. But then he falls in love, and now he has to go do it. I think that's true of all the SPs, but it's particularly true of the ISTP. So they're anti-heroes, I think.
But they won't accept the fact that they're doing it for that person either. They won't openly admit that it's just for
certainly not to anyone else. Maybe the person they're doing it for, they'll acknowledge it if asked. But that's the best.
But they won't openly say, but
not
I did
to anybody
this for
else.
you.
No. And they won't certainly say it to anyone else or the antagonist or anything like that.
Oh, no, God forbid.
Yeah. Kurt Russell plays a lot of those. You have to be old like me to know what Kurt Russell is, I think. But Kurt Russell plays a lot of ISTP anti-heroes as well as Harrison Ford. All right, but those are good representations. Again, a lot of NF. Let's get back to NF stuff.
Yes.
That are pretty bad. I'm trying to think of other NF symbols of it. Again, like Piglet and Eeyore from their NFs,
Where we don't.
So we either have like anxiety. Well, I think they're both INFPs, and Piglet is the anxiety side. That's all he has is anxiety, and Eeyore is just depressed every moment of the day. He could be an INFJ too, I think. Because they're kind of.
I agree.
Yeah, they're not E's. Neither of those guys are E's.
He has the sad eyes.
Yes, he does. So all right, we're gonna declare NFGeeks declares that Eeyore is an INFJ and Piglet is an INFP. totally useless in fighting, the Death Star. And the Borg, that's another thing. The NTs have the Borg. I mean, my God, it's all horrifying.
Oh, yeah,
everything is horror. And the Reapers, I mean, from Mass Effect, those are like NT things, or they're like NT consciousnesses. I mean, right, it's horrible.
100 Acre Wood would be in flames.
Right, that's
immediately.
Right. Exactly. You're right. We don't even have a good place to hide. We're under a log, in a grassy knoll. Like, we don't have any, no refuge.
And again, and we can even go back to ER. Has no aspirations of having a bigger house. He's perfectly happy with a little stick thing that barely covers anything and barely protects him from anything.
Right, which would be blown away by SJ artillery.
It's true.
All right, so what are some other NF representations that you find difficult or questionable or painful?
I don't know, because I'm just trying to think of, like, I definitely understand the bad things that get put out. I'm trying to think of specific examples of when we're kind of, and I feel like the other thing is, too, is we're not openly put down either. It's almost like kind of in the background of, yes, this person's a hero, but by the way, they're also a complete wuss.
It's kind of like a left-handed compliment,
Yeah,
and the thing that kills me is that they really are like, but that is how we are, that's what kills me. Like, you almost can't even argue it, because I can see myself.
We want to be mad, but we also can't because we understand that it's completely true. And
like, I could see myself in the spacesuit Prometheus trying to do something like, oh, this is horrible. You know what I mean? Like, like there's something
I know I have to do this,
it.
but I'd much rather just hide.
Right. That's, I can see that happening. Another, I have this theory, too, and this is, again, old school, but in Scooby-Doo, I think that Velma, she's the short one, I think she's an NF.
I agree.
I know that some people say that she's an NT. I've heard that. I don't think so, because one thing, she wears, like, bright orange matching clothes. I don't think NTs would wear that. They'd wear black, or it wouldn't match. Secondly, she does sort of have emotions. She's not a thinker as much. I think she might be an INFP, too,
I think maybe people get that idea because she's smart and she tries to be like intellectual. She tries to be like, I'm trying to think of the word. She's usually the one that's dealing with the computer. She's usually the one, you know what I mean? But
yes,
maybe
or getting
that's
the
where
clues.
People get the idea.
But the other thing, too, is that, like, no boyfriend. She doesn't get, she's not the cute one. She's not like, the other one, the redhead, who's, sexy.
Yeah.
She has to hang out with Shaggy and Scooby, or not even with them at all.
Yeah.
Loses her glasses, becomes useless, and crybaby. So even so again, there's always like this caveat where there's something awful about us. It's just awful, but just sort of, I don't know, pathetic and useless, I guess.
Yeah. I definitely get that. Especially, I feel like a lot of I don't want to say the smart nerdy, but nerdy in a bad way kind of things, where when nerdy people are kind of represented in movies as being the completely useless, very, like, whiny, kind of like hiding in the corner is usually an NF representation.
Or the weepy, depressing goths.
The emo kids.
Right, the emo kids.
Goth kids.
Right, but the depressing goths, like the other goths that are a little more hardcore, they're more NT-like. But the depressing goths, the sad goths, crying in their basements, those are like NFs.
Life isn't worth living kind of thing. Not the I understand what you're saying. Not the goths that are like all out there and in everybody's face. They're the goths that kind of quietly cry to themselves.
Yeah, these are the ones who are like in love with like dead roses, and they have them in a glass bowl or something. And they are NFs too in the real world. That's the funny thing. It's like if you have dead flowers in your house, only an NF would have dead flowers in their house.
I have dead flowers
on purpose. Not by, like, if accident, like, you just didn't water them and, like, you're lazy, that's not NF. But, like, if you purposely kept the dead flowers and you put them in a box and it's, it's some kind of symbolic, only an NF would think of doing that.
I have those.
Yeah.
I have some in a box.
Right, I used to have some.
From specific situations.
Right, exactly.
To exemplify and symbolize things that have happened in my life.
Yes, so any representation of somebody having dead flowers is an NF.
So it's
and crying about it too. They have to be weepy about stuff with that.
So although everyone might think that we're out there and we're all about us, we also understand that there are some not so good things that are being said and represented of us either.
Yes, and And the thing that kills me is, like, you can't deny that they're NFs. Like, Christopher Robin is an NF.
He's totally an NF.
Only an NF would think of having, like, a pretend forest with their stuffed animals, and all the stuffed animals need them, and he's nurturing towards the stuffed animals. I mean, that's so ridiculously NF. So he has to be an NF.
Same thing as in Peter Pan, wanting to get away from being a grown-up.
Right, and there's
wanting to live...
Yeah, Wendy is an NF, and so is Tinkerbell. Again, useless. She would just be stepped on. You know, totally useless. All right, so that's our rant about NF. Hopefully, well, no, we have the Jedi, so I guess we got that going for us.
We can still try.
Yes, and Finn. I'm pretty sure we have Finn. Yeah. Yes. Okay, there'll be all sorts of arguments about that. And Mordecai. The people who watch cartoons know who Mordecai is. He's an INFJ. All right, that's enough. Thanks, Angela.